Hey guys, this is an updated key guide for the Terragroup Labs blue keycard. This key can be found in the pockets and bags of Scavs, as well as on Tagilla, Sturman, Killa, Gluhar, Kaban, the Goons, and also the Cultists. Or you can always just buy it directly from the flea market, and at the time that I am making this video, it is usually ranging between 5 and 15 million. But prior to the chance of keycards being able to spawn inside of marked rooms, it was between 25 and 35 million. And apparently there is also a chance that a rare valuable crate which is earned from refs, dailies, and weeklies in Arena can also spawn a blue keycard, but you do have to unlock the crate at your level 2 workbench before unpacking it. Now halfway through patch 14, Labs keycards were given the ability to spawn inside of marked rooms, so unless they do decide to revert this change, then you will have the chance to find any Labs keycards inside the marked room on Customs, 2 marked rooms on Streets, the 3 marked rooms on Reserve, and also the marked room on Lighthouse on the Lightkeeper Island. And there is also 6 additional hard spawn locations for the blue keycard that I will show you guys now. So firstly on Shoreline, there are 3 potential spawn locations at the Health Resort. 1 is going to be at the Ambulance, and then 2 of them are going to be inside of the West Wing first floor. So I am here at the Health Resort just behind the helicopter. This is where the East Wing is, and then under the bridge here is the admin area, and then further left is where the West Wing is. So firstly, we will be going directly forward, and then right ahead of us is the Ambulance, and then inside the passenger side wheel well is the first potential spawn for the blue keycard. And now I will bring you guys into the West Wing where we can check 2 separate locations here. So to check these 2 rooms, you will actually require 2 different keys since both of the potential spawns are locked behind doors. The first room that I will show you guys is going to be the West 112 room, and once you go inside of this room, then the keycard can spawn on the TV stand just on the left corner of it. And then after we check the West 112 room, then we will head back out in the hallway and then take a right, and then down this hallway on our right hand side. Then the next room that we will be checking that a key is required for is the West Wing room 104. Inside of this room, then the blue keycard can spawn on the desk in the front left corner. It's just going to be next to these papers and in front of this lamp if it is here. And then these are all of the spawns on Shoreline for the potential blue keycard. And now I will bring you guys to Customs to show you guys a potential spawn there. So I am on Customs just outside of the old gas station, and then the spawn location is just right over here on the right hand side next to the giving tree. So it is going to be just beneath this tree. You do have the ability to get any item in the game here. You just have to hope that luck is on your side and that nobody has looted it before you happen to get here. But I always recommend that people should check this area just because you never know what you could end up finding here. And then on to Factory, there is a pretty rare blue keycard spawn next to the med tent. My PMC is here on Factory, and then the offices area is just over here, and then to my left is where the med tent is. And then in between where I am and then the med tent, there is going to be a white electronic device up on top of this table just in front of the lab's tarp. And on top of this white device is the potential for a blue keycard spawn. This is going to be a rare spawn and one that isn't even listed on the wiki, but I did want to mention it nonetheless since it is listed on Map Genie as a potential spawn. And then lastly, there was recently a 6 potential hard spawn added on labs inside the manager's office. So to check this spawn, you will need the Terragroup Lab manager's office room key, which can be found in the pockets and bags of Scavs as well as in jackets or in drawers. Or there is 3 potential hard spawns around labs, 1 on the passenger seat of the black SUV in the parking garage, 1 in front of the laptop in the conference room inside the right dark office, and then lastly on the first floor of the negotiation room area, which is located underneath the left dark offices. And it will be as soon as you do go through this glass door, it will spawn underneath the lamp on the desk, or you can always buy it directly from the flea market. So in the manager's office, if you do unlock the door on your left side, then directly in front of you will be a chair, and this is where the blue keycard spawn can be for you, just directly on top of this chair. And now I will show you guys where you can use this keycard in a raid. So I am here on the first floor of labs. This is where the server room is located, and then just over here is where the black keycard room is. So if we do end up going to our left and then continuing down this hallway, then we will go through this tent, and then you will come to a set of open double doors, and that will be on our right hand side just before the end of the hallway. And this is where we can swipe the blue keycard to open up the laboratory quarantine zone, or most people just call it the blue keycard room. But before you end up actually opening up the blue room, then I do always recommend that you do check for the potential green keycard spawn that is going to be right here on top of this desk, because it does only take a few seconds and it is one of the more consistent spawns. So after checking this spawn, then we will head into the blue room, and just so you guys know, you can actually shut the door behind you after opening this area just to make it a little bit more inconspicuous to anybody who does happen to be running by. But the door will not relock behind you if you do close it, like with the red keycard room, so anyone who does come after you can just open it and freely walk in. So just be aware of that. Now going into the actual blue room, there is going to be loose medical loot spawns on the table immediately to the left of the open door, and then also a stim spawn in front of this centrifuge machine. And then apparently there is the possibility of a LEDX spawn inside of any of these open tins that you will find around the room as well. So even though it is rare, make sure to check them. Now on the table to the right of the door that leads into the back area, there is going to be a newly added red keycard spawn just next to these blood vials, which is basically going to be underneath this light, which I will show a picture of what it does look like if it has spawned in. and there is also some other loose medical loot on top of these tables in this back side of the room as well. Now after checking this section, then we will open up the door and go into the back area of this blue keycard room, where you will have a newly added green keycard spawn on the very top of the first medical trolley on the left, and there will also be possible LEDX spawns, stim spawns, and other loose medical loot spawns on any of the other shelves of these trolleys as well, and also a potential spawn on the shelf just to the right of them. You will also have a few more medical trolleys in this back area, as well as several stretchers which do have the potential of more loose medical loot and stim spawns throughout, so just make sure to check around this back area thoroughly. And typically there are some med cases that do spawn in this blue room, but because of dynamic loot, then I can't tell you guys exactly where it is that they will spawn in 100% of the time, because it likely won't be in the same places in my video. And then lastly, as you are leaving this back room, then there is going to be one more room to the left of the exit that you can also check that does have another medical trolley with loose medical loot and stim spawns on it. And usually there is also a medical bag on top of the table just to the right. And there is also the potential of some loose medical spawns on the bottom shelf of this table as well. Now, one last thing that I did want to show you guys is that there is a little porthole just next to the exit door on the right hand side. So if you are being held by somebody outside of the door waiting for you, then you can open both the sides and then try to chuck a nade out before exiting the room, which honestly may not be effective, but I just wanted to mention it anyways, just in case you guys may be able to make a play. Now, honestly, this keycard is widely viewed as the worst key for labs and was basically viewed as just a flex to have rather than a key that is kept for the actual loot inside. But basically it will be up to you guys on if you do have the money to burn, and if you did want to buy all of the keycards just to have them, or because you do play a lot of labs, then it could be worth it for you. But in all reality, the actual loose loot that's generally found all around labs is going to be better than what's found inside the blue room. The only saving grace or the Hail Mary for this room being remotely worth it is going to be the significant drop in price on the flea market, paired with the recent buff adding more frequent LEDX spawns, as well as the addition of the red and green keycard spawns. And just a tip is that you guys can actually scope out the main high tier loot areas before bothering to open up the room to see if it's worth your time to even open it up in that raid if you do have this key. But hopefully you guys found this key guide useful, and it did help you to decide whether or not you want to keep this key guard to use for yourself, or it helped you to decide to buy one from the flea market, or maybe it even convinced you just to list it for sale on the flea and then make yourself a bunch of money. So thank you guys for stopping by and watching my video on this, and hopefully you have a fantastic rest of your day.